Alright guys, so this is the iFlight iH2 HD Whoop, and some of you guys were asking me a while back for an alternative to the UMA 95 or the Beta 95X. You wanted something in like a smaller form factor, like 2.5 inches, but no prop guards. So this model does come with ducks or prop guards for 2-inch props. And if you don't use the prop guards, you can use these 2.5-inch props. So these are the new HQ 2.5 by 2 by 3 props. I still don't have a link for these yet, so check back later. If they're not in the description, I'll probably have it later. This is a custom build. I picked up the frame. You get these the frames off of like Amazon, Banggood. I think ReelSteadyGo has it as well. It's around $25, I think. And it's just basically the frame and the ducks or the prop guards. No electronics, of course, but to build it is pretty easy because it's obviously DJI. It's got the Vista system here, but if you buy the bind and fly, which is about $260, basically you have the frame, the motors, the stack, and the Vista obviously all built already, but they built theirs a little bit differently than I did. They put their Vista in the front and I put it in the back, and I mainly put it in the back here for a longer antenna extension here. And these 3D printed parts here for the antenna are printed in TPU, and then also the camera mount here. This is the GoPro Lite from Beta FPV, and I like the 95X, but if you want something that doesn't have prop guards, obviously things that don't have ducts fly a little bit better. This does, in my opinion, fly a little bit better, but it's a bit heavier because it's all carbon. You get a little more camera protection here. But yeah, back to the difference between this build and the bind and fly. Basically, it's all custom here. I mean, the Vista and the frame is the only thing that's the same. I have another iFlight stack here. It's the F7 stack. I think the one in the bind and fly comes with an F4 stack, so that's going to be different. And then the motors I have on here are the new Robo Flywoo 1204 5150 kV. So I'm flying this on 3S on this setup. You can do it on 4S as well, but you're probably going to need a different PID tune, lower PIDs. And I have this 3S 1100 milliamp hour LiPo on here in the back, and I get about 7 to 8 minutes depending on how I fly or how windy it is. You can fly with a smaller battery, of course. I think, let me just give you the weight for this entire setup here. It's definitely well under 250 grams. This is with the GoPro and the 1100 3S all up weight, and we're coming in at 215.5 grams. So this here is definitely going to be heavier than the Beta 95X. I think you're going to typically run a 4S 450 on that one, and this is a 3S 1100. You could do a bigger battery, of course, on the other one as well and get more flight time. So it's trade-offs. Of course, you can take the camera off here. It's very easy to do. I have a little pigtail hair plug. I just use that and I solder to the bottom of the BEC board, and then I have another plug. And the other side comes from the drone, and this other plug is actually soldered directly to the battery leads, so it just gets battery power. Just basically before I put the main battery in, I just plug this in together and then put the battery in, and then when powered up, the GoPro will get power, and you get nice HD footage from the GoPro. Let me go ahead and pull this guy out. This is what it looks like without the battery and the GoPro on there, and I'll show you how much it weighs. Basically no electronics, or no battery, no GoPro, just electronics. So the dry weight, I guess, is about 118.1 grams. So statistics on the frame itself, obviously you got two 20 by 20s here. 16 millimeter stack could go in the front if you want to go with a lighter stack. It's a unibody, bottom plate 2.5 millimeters, and the top plate, I think it's 1.5 millimeters. Got some side plates here, and you got standoffs in the front here, and in the back, so there's 4 standoffs. I believe it's 22 millimeters for the stack, or the distance between the plates. If you're wondering how much stack clearance you have, you can see it's pretty tight. And it's not a whole lot of space, but I got plenty of space for the battery strap, no problem. And one downside about this frame, and I've actually mentioned this to iFlight, they should probably redesign this is the maximum camera tilt that you can get from the DJI camera here where it's mounted, because the top of the camera here is hitting the standoffs here in the back. So this full front section needs to move forward like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 millimeters, and you'll be able to get much more camera tilt. But for my purposes of the way I like to fly this, more cinematically and slow flight, I mean, you can still fly this pretty fast, but for a more slow flight, you can. This camera angle is adequate. It's like 10-15 degrees, and it's going to be enough for cinematic flying. Anyway, so I've been flying this for quite a bit now. I've had this for a few weeks. I got a ton of footage. I'm just going to show you a little bit of it. I mean, it's just GoPro 6 footage with ReelSteadyGo, so it just looks smooth. It looks like any other really super smooth footage from, you can look even from like a 5-inch, but it's kind of amazing that you can get this kind of footage from something this small and pretty quiet, pretty light, really good flight time, like 7 to 8 minutes. So if you're looking to get those kind of characteristics from a DJI quad, check out this build. You can buy the bind and fly and switch out the stack like I did here. Just reverse the basically they put the Vista in the back here, and then you can get these parts. Now I'm gonna hold off on putting these parts up on Thingiverse. I'm still kind of working them out. You can see here. Let me see here. Yeah, so I have basically the main part of the GoPro mount around this front standoff here, and then I'm using the 2 screws in the back to hold the back. So basically the angle's pretty fixed because this angle's kind of fixed, so this worked out pretty well. But I'm going to fiddle with it a little bit more. Not totally happy with it. And then same thing with the back here. I'm going to try and lighten this up a little bit. It's kind of heavy. It's about 1.5 grams for this mount. But basically I want to have the maximum extension for this antenna, because the further away it is from the frame, the better signal you're going to have, more range you're going to have. But I'm going to try and maybe alter this a little bit and possibly put these legs up a little closer, and then maybe 2 parts here in the back for holding the tube, and then the back parts is antenna. I mean, it's pretty decent. I've crashed it a few times and no problems with the antenna breaking or anything like that. But I'm not too happy with it so far. But yeah, if you're interested in the parts, make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the video. When this video gets, say, I don't know, let's say 500 likes, I'll throw it up on Thingiverse once I'm pretty happy with the parts. So check back later. I'll put a link down in the description, assuming the video gets enough attention. Anyway, so like I said, you can build this yourself with the parts. I'll list all the parts down below, or you can get the bind and fly and just make a few modifications. The bind and fly does come with the 1204 iFlight motors. I think they're 4,500 kV, so that one I think is probably going to be more suited for forest. I wanted to fly SN3, that's why I wanted the higher kV motor on this one. So I may do another video, or actually I may do another build of this particular frame in the near future with the new 1303 motors that iFlight has. So stay tuned for that one. And here's some more flight footage, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.